According to legend, the world is divided into 4 parts, the 4 lands of East, West, South and North. They are separated from each other by the sea. From the beginning of time, in the land of the East, there was a magical stone on top of a high mountain. The sun, the moon, the sky and the earth all worked their magic on the stone. Thousands of years later, the magical stone becomes alive. One day the stone exploded, and a monkey leaped out. This monkey is the future monkey king Sun Wukong. The stone monkey worshipped in the 4 directions of East, South, West and North. Then his eyes emitted golden lights, which were so powerful that directly disturbed the Jade Emperor in the sky, who was the head of all gods. One of gods reported to the Jade Emperor in heaven, it was a monkey blinking its eyes. When it eats human food, the golden light will disappear. The Jade Emperor said, "Let it be." After the stone monkey was born, he ate wild fruits in the forest and made friends with tigers and other wild animals. He was very happy. One day, the monkeys were bathing under a big waterfall. They were very curious about what was behind the waterfall, and they said, "If who of us can get through the waterfall to see what is behind it without hurting himself, we'll accept him as our king." The monkeys were all timid and didn't dare to go. The stone monkey shouted, "I'll go." Then he closed his eyes and jumped in. When he opened his eyes, he found that there was an iron bridge behind the waterfall. The iron bridge led to a large cave which can accommodate everyone outside. The water was hanging upside down, covering the hole. A stone tablet beside the bridge reads, "Blessed the waterfall cave." The stone monkey was very happy and thought it was a good place to live. He jumped out of the cave and brought all the monkeys into the water curtain cave to live in. The monkeys all sincerely accepted the stone monkey as their king. From that day on, the brave stone monkey became the Monkey King. The Monkey King and the other monkeys lived happily for hundreds of years. One day, the Monkey King realized that all living things must die. He felt so sad that he cried. He decided to go out and seek a way to be immortal. The next day, the monkeys built a raft for their king. The Monkey King get on the raft and sail for the south. A few months later, the Monkey King he arrived the land of the south. He put on human clothes, and searched for many years, none of the people here knew how to live forever. So the Monkey King took on the raft again, sailed to the land of the west. A woodcutter told him that there was an old immortal named Subodhi. The Monkey King respectfully met Master Subodhi, and told the story of his birth and his adventure. Subodhi was pleased with this and gave the Monkey King a name. That is Sun Wukong. From this day on, the Monkey King became a disciple of the Subodhi and named Sun Wukong. But in the 7 years, Sun Wukong did not learn any magic skills, but chopped wood and carried water. One day, Master Subodhi asked Sun Wukong what he wanted to learn. Sun Wukong only wanted to learn how to live forever, and did not want to learn Master's suggestions. The Master Subodhi was fed up, and hit Sun Wukong with his rod 3 times on the head. Then he left the classroom holding the rod behind his back. Sun Wukong understood the secret plan. The Master Subodhi wasn't angry but playing riddles, to teach him secret skills. So Sun Wukong slipped through the back door to the Master's house at midnight, and knelt down so as not to disturb the Master Subodhi. The Master Subodhi was very satisfied and taught Sun Wukong the way of immortality. A few years later, the Master Subodhi taught Sun Wukong 72 changes and a flying technique called the somersault flight, which will enable him to fly 108,000 miles with one somersault. From then on, Sun Wukong worked very hard, and mastered skills. One day, other disciples asked Sun Wukong to show what he had learned. Sun Wukong couldn't wait to show off his skills, turned himself into a huge pine tree. The Master Subodhi was very angry and scolded Sun Wukong for causing others to be jealous. Then the Master ordered Sun Wukong to go back to where he came from. At this time, Sun Wukong remembered the waterfall cave, and his kingdom. He knelt to the Master to thank him for all he had taught and took a somersault, crossing 2 continents and the ocean in an instant. Son Wukong returned and the waterfall cave was in a mess. Monkeys surround him, crying, "My king, you finally come back. Our cave has been taken over by a monster." The Monkey King was furious. He saw the monster wearing armor and holding a big sword, very tall and strong. The Monkey King grabbed the monster's sword and killed him. The monkeys were so happy that they quickly arranged a banquet to welcome their king. They all came up to listen to the story about how the Monkey King be immortal and beat the monster. From then on, the Monkey King instructed the monkeys to train with weapons to guard against the king of human or monsters. When the monkeys are trained, the Monkey King also wanted a weapon of his own. For him, normal weapons are useless. So he separated the water with magic and went to the Dragon Palace of the East Sea. He asked the Dragon King for a perfect weapon. Guang, the Dragon King of the East Sea, also learned about the new powerful Monkey King. He'd better not slight him, so he quickly ordered someone to take out a broadsword, a fork and a halberd. Each one weighs several thousand kilograms. But the Monkey King thought these were too light. So Guang, the Dragon King of the East Sea, reluctantly led him to a magic stick used by the Empire a long time ago. And the magic stick weighs tens of thousands of kilograms. They saw an iron pillar about a bucket thick and more than 20 feet long, emitting golden lights. The strange thing is that iron pillar obeys the Monkey King's orders. The Monkey King was delighted, then he commanded the iron stick to shrink to only 2 feet long and a bowl thick. He tried the magic stick in the Crystal Palace for a few laps, which stirred the whole sea. But he wasn't satisfied. He asked the Dragon King for an armor to go with the new weapon. Guang, the Dragon King of the East Sea, did not have an armor. So he called his 3 younger brothers, Qin, Shun and Run, who ruled the South Sea, the North Sea and the West Sea. They all thought they couldn't defeat the Monkey King, so they decided to give him an armor and then report this to the Jade Emperor. Then the Dragon Kings brought out a pair of cloud boots, a golden armor, and a gold crown. The Monkey King came back from the sea, showing the monkeys his magic stick and armor. The monkeys are proud of their king. One day, the Monkey King fell asleep, and 2 ghosts locked his soul in the underworld. The Monkey King found himself in the underworld and was very angry. He beat the 2 ghosts into a pulp and then took up the magic stick to fight in the underworld. The king of the underworld was unable to defeat the Monkey King and had to hand over the Book of Life and Death. The Monkey King eliminated all the names of monkeys on the book. That means all monkeys will never die. He then took out the magic stick, wielding and left. When he left the underworld, he found that his soul had returned to the tree and he was still sleeping. He told the monkeys about his experience in the underworld, and they were all very happy and celebrated that they would never die.